Hello, welcome to Malkir Talks. Today we are cooking again. Yes, it is finally time for me to make a beef stew and ham and cheese toastie that I have been talking about for a little while now. So this suggestion comes from Null, my first time reader from my podcast. If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. But he was reading at the very beginning where Tam is being healed by Moraine, and Rand is sitting there, and just afterwards he wakes up and he finds food is waiting for him. Mistress Aldair has decided that Rand needs a full belly, because obviously he's been travelling all night, dragging his father to the village, and he's not eaten. So she decided that he will have hot food regardless of how long it takes. So she must have been changing that tray constantly while he was asleep. And yeah, I'm going to make that. Now, I looked into beef broth itself, and beef broth is basically like a very thin sort of soup, not much in it. It's made from boiling bones essentially, and I was like, I could do that, but just boiling bones and then putting in a little tiny little bit of veg with it, I was like, not really. Like, I'm gonna make that and then not really eat it, to be honest. Not that I wouldn't eat that, it's just I want something a bit better, a bit more filling. So obviously making beef broth is a very traditional dish. It comes from using up all of the animal. Okay, so nothing goes to waste. So you even boil the bones down and you make, in essence, a broth out of it, just a soup, or, you know, whatever you want to call it type thing. A broth is the right term, but you can call it a soup or anything like that. And I was like, I don't want to go buy bones specifically for this, particularly when I love making beef stew. So I'm going to up the ante a little bit and do a first age version. We're in the first age, right? Whichever age we're in. I'm going to do this age version and make a beef stew. And I could just do slices of bread and ham and cheese. But I was like, that's not very exciting either. So I'm going to make another first age version of that. We're going to make a ham and cheese toastie, which for you lot over in America, because apparently you got very confused about what that is, that's called a grilled cheese. So Narg is going to make a slow cooked beef stew. I'm going to get the slow cooker out because why not? You know, this would be something that they would cook over a long period of time. They wouldn't make half hour on top of, you know, the stove or the, you know, flames or whatever they're going for. This would be cooked over a long period of time to make the bones just ooze out all that flavour and all the goodness from the bones. You know, that you'd have to boil them for many hours. So I'm going to do a slow cooked beef stew, and then right at the end, Narg is going to be making a ham and cheese toastie just to see what it's like. And you can criticise me on whether I've done a good job or a bad job at the end. But yeah, let's get a cracking on that.
Narg make beef stew for boss. Narg like we make meat today. Narg happy man. Narg like. So ingredients, we need potatoes, obviously beef, nice juicy rump steak. We need to season, salt, pepper. We have chestnut mushrooms. In traditional stew, you would use anything available. Lots of root vegetables, so carrots. I have broccoli, green beans. Well, boss has, not me really. I don't like green beans, but you know, Nag smart. Nag, no, he need vegetables. Nag, no, he can't just eat meat. We have onion, garlic. This is beef dripping gravy, something. I don't know. Boss bring home from work, because work closed for 1 month. So boss not throw in bin. Boss uses base for stew. Boss smart. Not as smart as Nog, but boss smart. Then we have things from me cupboard. Chickpeas, kidney beans to make modern version. You need lots of tomatoes. Here we have passata, which is really yummy. Boss tells me I don't need tomatoes, but you know, boss like. So Nog make for boss, because Nog want meat. And then stock cubes, because, you know, you would use stock in traditional times. So boss just, you know, stock cubes is fine. Boss do this. So we need to cut all this and prep. So let's do that. Done. Ta-da! Nog make all prep. Nog throw fur everywhere. Not good. Okay, so we have everything chopped. But before we put in slow cooker, must seal this off, boss says. If you don't seal off meat, when cooked in slow cooker, become very grainy, very just, the texture disappear. You have flavor, but weird, horrible, grainy, mush texture. Not good. You want your meat tender. You want your meat supple. You want meat to melt in your mouth as you rip it off the bone. Sorry, not off bone. As you enjoy bites, with knife and fork and possibly spoon for sauce. But, Nog learn, Nog become cultured, Nog is smart. Nog will learn how to be contributing member of society. But don't tell boss, but maybe I still get raw meat off bone occasionally from, homeless people nobody like. But, that's mean. I must hunt animal, Nog must hunt animal. Okay, right, but let's do seal, and we get slow cooker out and we cook things out. But look, so we have everything in slow cooker. I put all in a crumble, a stock cube on top. We had seasoning, black pepper, sea salt, things like that. We have cooked meat. We seasoned only the dish. We not season this. We season this, okay? This I pour in onions and garlic in here as well. So we take this. This goes on top, and oven glove. Okay, must wear oven glove. Hot item. Protect fingers. Oh, meat. Narg like meat. Okay. Nom. So, we have this. Oh, look at steam. Oh, Narg just finished cooking. It's wonderful. Okay, put on top. Now, Narg make too much. So Narg not do chickpeas or kidney beans, but you do if you want. Now we add passata. Pour that on. Lovely. Make sure to wash your sauce out of the container with a little bit extra water. Oh, nom. Lots. Good. Now we add beef drip. Now we need beef drip. This is like special gravy from boss work. He bring home. Otherwise go in bin. Oh, look, nom. Made with actual dripping from beef. Oh, beef bones made in this. Nom. Now, we need to add water to cover. And we need to stir. And then we cook. You cook on high for 4 hours or low for 8 hours, depending how much time you have. But Narg do this, and Narg watch this, Narg stir this, Narg look after this. Narg send you to boss. Boss, you want coffee? Boss, coffee, CAF, boss.
Yeah, Narg, I'll have a calf. Yep, sounds good. Are you done with the stew? Can I make the cheese toastie soon?
Yeah, Narg almost finished, then Narg take nap. Because Narg find cooking lots to do. Narg take nap, and then you have calf. Narg make calf, you have calf. And then you do cheese toastie. Grilled cheese.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So we cover this extra fluid. Make sure get all out of this. And stir. And then Narg gonna go for 4 hours. Because Narg hungry already. Nom. So, yeah, we leave you with boss, and now go make calf and take nap, because Narg like to sleep. Bye.
Hello, welcome to today's CAF Chat segment. Your host is me. Don't know where that came from. But yeah, welcome to CAF Chat. Today I'm using my Dusty Wheel mug, as you can see here. Bought this a while ago. Very much do recommend you get one if you ever get the opportunity. I also have a glass one the innkeeper was kind enough to send me, but that one doesn't really work for CAF. That's more of a ale or a cider sort of drinking vessel. But, I still use it from time to time. As one to do. But yes, fourth mug in the collection. I thought we'd get a little Wheel of Time. I am recording this on Wheel of Time, What Wednesday, as they call it, but there was sadly no announcement of new information this week. We had last week, or was it the week before now? Time seems to merge together these days, and they're like, it's all one big thing. But we had all that drama over the little 16-second audio teaser, like, oh my god. And yeah, I mean, I've spoken about this in a few places, but I think it is a sort of a little mashup of the fight going down in the beginning of the Great Hunt, but instead of it being Matt and Egwene down in the dungeons with Thane, there's actually Perrin and Egwene down there, and it's the off-scene bit where the monsters are breaking into the dungeons to rescue Thane. And they're there like, are you ready for this? And he's like, no. And she's like, yeah, me neither. And shit goes down. I made a guess. I don't know if I got it right, but well, I didn't get it right because obviously I didn't get invited to Prague by Rafe. But I didn't know if I was close or that person who was one word away. But it's been lots of fun, hasn't it, having that discussion? We haven't had anything else yet today, although production has stopped. We don't know if that means it's been put on pause again, or if you know what, they actually got everything done they needed to. They were really uber organized and they're doing a few reshoots in April, and who knows. But we've had lots of fun and discussion going on with that, so it's been really interesting. And I just hope they continue to drop things, even if it's just like once a month. Just drop little things in there. Just little. Rafe, I know you're a fan of the show. Even if it's every couple of weeks, come on, have a bit of a giggle. We go nuts for this stuff. So if you get an opportunity, drop something in, because I think that would be really, really fun, I have to say. So, yeah. And I just thought, whilst Narg is, Narg's done the beginning of the cooking for me, I'm going to finish for him. I'm going to make the cheese and ham toastie, or the grilled cheese, depending on where you're from, and depending on what you like to call it. But I thought while Narg is out playing with the neighbour's St. Bernard, he's made a friend, ladies and gents. The neighbours, I've got new neighbours, they have a St. Bernard, and Narg made friends. I mean, it's pretty much the only creature around here his size that he could actually hang out with, and is happy to see him. Aside from myself, Narg and I are getting quite good. We're becoming friends now. There's a slight bond growing there, which is why we're taking turns. And Narg is, I think it's because I said I would make a beef dish, and he saw raw meat and he was quite happy. But we get along, and that's the important stuff. He made my CAF today, and I have to say it's a very good cup of CAF. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thank you, Narg. Narg is smart at making CAF. Anyway, so I thought I'd end today's CAF chat with a little bit of, not a teaser, but more just sort of like a pondering. So I'm bouncing around an idea for my podcast. For those of you who haven't found my podcast, please go check it out. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of guests on there. A lot of guests. I think I've got like 4, 5 solo episodes out of 17 episodes now or something crazy. So yeah. A lot of guests coming on to join me. It's so much fun. But I was goofing around with the idea of a change in the power. So at the end of the books, obviously we have the whole situation with the pipe. And for those of you who've not read, I'm not going to say any more because that doesn't spoil anything. But obviously it raises some questions, and I've come up with a small theory where I am liking the power to the Force, and dabbling with the idea that the Star Wars universe is simply another age in the turning. So yeah, I'm going to have a bit of fun with that one, I think. I'm not 100% sure, tied down on the theory. This obviously falls into the loony theory category, for those of you who are familiar with that. But yeah, it seemed like fun. And the whole situation with the pipe got me thinking about it. And the more I look into it, the more I think about connections and what happens in the whole story, and then what happens in the Star Wars universe. I think it could be a lot of fun. So, just a quick little sort of ditty on what's happening there. So a fun little Star Wars Wheel of Time crossover type thing. Does that mean we can get Ewan McGregor to play someone? We need to get Ewan McGregor in to play someone. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's kind of it today. Just a quick little check-in. A little bit like, oh my God, they didn't drop anything, but they have been dropping things on us. And then a little chat about a fun little theory I'm flowing around. But yeah, until next time, I'm going to get back to the cooking because dinner smells good. It's time to get those grilled cheeses together, those ham and cheese toasties, and make some food for myself and Narg. But until next time, if you haven't checked out, if you're not a follower of my Twitter, you might have missed this epic joke I came up with the other day. Epic ham joke. And the whole crux of the joke is just brilliant. It's so simple. So thought I would finish with a sign off today with that one. And it's, so what if I can't spell time and Gaiden? Or even say it properly. It's not the end of the world. Hey guys, so I thought I would give Narg a little bit of a break since he's done the main course, so to speak, which is cooking in my slow cooker just over there. But yeah, so I've pulled together the rest of the dish. So we've got some nice rustic bread going on here. I've gone for a ciabatta because there's not much, you don't really use yeast in this, so the rising agent isn't going to be much. and that's going to suit with a sort of small village in the back end of nowhere, I suppose you might say. We've got some nice mature cheddar, and I've got smoked ham because again you want to preserve your ham so it'll be salted or smoked, things of that nature. Butter for the outside of the toastie, because obviously we need to toast that, and just a bit of extra moistness inside. I've got some nice good scrummy mayonnaise. So let's get this bad boy together. I've got myself a nice frying pan on the go here, so let's just turn that on. Yes, got the right one, always good. Won't have that too high just yet while I'm prepping the dishes, but I'm just warming it up. And all you want to do is that. So we've got our toasties in the pan here. Okay, now they're nice and big, but what you want to be doing is press them down. They need to be getting a little flat, if that's at all possible. Ciabatta is quite a thick bread. Normally you do this with a skinny type of sandwich bread, but I wanted something rustic, which is clearly also being challenging to do this with. But yeah, you want to be cooking these up until they're golden on both sides and you get the cheese melting with it. You can put anything in these you want. I'm sure you know this. You could put in cream cheese, you could put in other meats, you could put in veg. If you want it to melt fast, use grated cheese, cheese sauces, all sorts of different things. But yeah, in effect, you just want to like heat this through and toast it on both sides. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back once I finish both sides and we'll get them cutting away, because I think that's going to be the fun part. So yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so we've got our rustic grilled cheese, and I have to say, oh, they smell heavenly. I mean, you can't go wrong with grilled cheese, can you? Cheese toastie is what we call it here in the UK, but I've confused a lot of people with that, so I've tried to call it toastie and grilled cheese at multiple times throughout the episode, so you can see what I'm making here. But that is that there. Let's chop this bad boy up, shall we? And let's see what we're dealing with. Whoop. So, let's just take this one here. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Fresh from the pan. Trying to cut through. There we go. Beautiful, look at that. So I've gone through nice thick pieces of cheese there because I want it warm through, but I don't want it melted too much. Okay. But obviously if you want the cheese melted, do thinner slices, grated cheese, something like that, and it will melt down through for you. So we've got that on the go. This is Rand's bread, cheese and ham. Now, let's bring over the slow cooker and see what's going on there. 1 second while I unplug and we bring it over, because I think that is going to be fabulous. Let's move these out the way. And here it comes. This has been cooking for quite some time now. There we go, look at that. Are you ready? Steady. Love that moment. Oh, do you know what? I can not describe how good this smells. Oh my God. That is fabulous. Look at all of that. Let's get a bowl. Let's dish some of this up, because I am dipping these toasties in right now, I'll tell you that. So, there we go. Haha, nice little moment there. I love that moment. So this has been sat here for about, I'm going to say 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so you can see everything is just cooked through. Those mushrooms haven't shrunk down too much. The potatoes have had time to cook. I put potatoes in there because then you've got a carb straight away. But it's also something rustic that they'd have around. Now if you want this to be thicker, just take the lid off for a couple hours. Let it bubble around a bit. I like mine with lots of juice because, frankly, I enjoy that flavour. So we've got that in there. I mean, that looks fabulous. And then let us throw on a side of toasty. Come on, come on. Too much equipment. Okay, let's take our toasty. We'll pop that on the sides. And there we go, ladies and gents. Beef broth with ham, cheese and bread, or as I've taken it this age to be, a cheese and ham toasty rustic sandwich with a nice beef stew type thing on the go there. Smells delicious. Right, let's go sit down and have a bite of this. Nog, thank you so much for prep. Really appreciate it.
Nog happy. Nog have meat.
Oh, yes. You can have the leftover meat and stuff. In fact, you should have some of the veg anyway, mate. You know, because I think it's going to be good for you.
Nog eat meat and vegetables. Okay then.
Good boy, good boy. All right, let's sit down and have a bite. Hey, so here we go. It is taste test time. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my God, look at that. Num, 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 num. That looks great. So, I'm going to take some toasty and I'm going to dip it in my stew because I'm weird. This is great. That's amazing. The combination, perfect. Let's just try this by itself anyway, just with some beef. Let's get some beef stew in there. Beef, a little bit of veg, lovely. Oh, come on, there we go. That is delicious. I love that slow cook. The meat is so tender. The veg is al dente. You can't go wrong. And then I've got a nice cheese and ham toasty on the go as well. Rand, you missed a trick. You should have gone down to the kitchen with your ham and cheese and bread, buttered it up, stuck it on top of the stovetop, squashed it with a pan or something of that nature, and made something like this, because by God, is this amazing. So, I have to say, dropping it everywhere, that is definitely going to keep me going on a run from Two Rivers. Keeping my ass away from Trollocs and Murderel and Drakkar and all sorts of shit. That is definitely going to keep me going, because that is scrumptious, and it's just got so much flavour and it feels so homey, and that's exactly how I feel that Mistress Alvear's food would be. Just real comfort, warmth, good for you, lots of veggies in there, all that sort of stuff, and yeah, can't go wrong. So I hope you've enjoyed me taking a twist on Rand's snack in between healing his dad and running away from the Two Rivers. And until next time, guys, I'm going to sign off for you, and from Narg as well, and we both say to you, eat well and wake.